In today's fast-paced world, the ability to explain things clearly and be understood is more important than ever. Whether you're giving a presentation, writing an article, or simply having a conversation, effective communication is key to conveying your ideas and ensuring that your message is received as intended. In this video, we'll delve into detailed strategies for explaining things better and making sure you're understood. These techniques will help you articulate your thoughts more clearly, engage your audience, and minimize misunderstandings. 1. Know your audience. The first step in explaining anything effectively is understanding your audience. Knowing who you're communicating with allows you to tailor your message to their level of knowledge, interests, and needs. Consider their background, familiarity with the topic, and any specific concerns they might have. To gauge your audience, ask yourself questions like, what is their level of expertise on the subject? Are they familiar with the terminology you plan to use? What are their main goals or objectives in relation to the topic? For example, if you're explaining a complex technical concept to a non-expert, you'll need to simplify your language and use analogies that relate to their everyday experiences. By aligning your explanation with your audience's needs, you increase the likelihood that your message will be understood and appreciated. 2. Use clear and simple language. Clarity is crucial when explaining complex ideas. Avoid using jargon or technical terms unless absolutely necessary, and always provide definitions or explanations for any specialized language you do use. Aim for simplicity and precision in your language to ensure that your message is accessible to everyone. One effective technique is to break down complex concepts into smaller, more manageable parts. Use simple words and phrases, and avoid long, convoluted sentences. For example, instead of saying, "The process involves the application of advanced algorithms to analyze large datasets," you might say, "We use special techniques to examine big sets of data." By simplifying your language, you make your explanation easier to follow and understand. 3. Organize your information. A well-organized explanation is easier to follow and more likely to be understood. Start with a clear introduction that outlines what you'll be discussing. Present your main points in a logical order, and use headings or bullet points to highlight key information. For example, if you're explaining a process, you might break it down into steps and explain each step in sequence. Use transitional phrases like first, next, and finally to guide your audience through your explanation. At the end, summarize the main points to reinforce understanding and provide a clear conclusion. Good organization helps your audience grasp the structure of your explanation and keeps them engaged throughout. 4. Use analogies and examples. Analogies and examples can make abstract or complex ideas more relatable and easier to understand. By comparing unfamiliar concepts to familiar ones, you help your audience grasp the essence of what you're explaining. For instance, if you're explaining how a computer's CPU works, you might compare it to a chef in a kitchen. Just as a chef processes ingredients and follows recipes to create a meal, a CPU processes instructions and executes tasks to run programs. Examples and analogies make your explanations more concrete and memorable, helping your audience visualize and relate to the information. 5. Incorporate visual aids. Visual aids such as diagrams, charts, and illustrations can enhance understanding by providing a visual representation of the information you're discussing. Visuals can clarify complex concepts, highlight important details, and make abstract ideas more tangible. When using visual aids, ensure that they are clear, relevant, and well-designed. Avoid clutter and focus on key points that support your explanation. For example, if you're explaining a statistical trend, a simple line graph can effectively illustrate changes over time. Visual aids should complement your verbal explanation, not replace it, so use them to reinforce and clarify your points. 6. Encourage interaction and feedback. Engaging your audience and encouraging interaction can improve understanding and retention. Invite questions, encourage discussion, and be open to feedback. Interaction helps clarify any points of confusion and allows you to adjust your explanation based on your audience's needs. For instance, during a presentation or meeting, you might pause periodically to ask if there are any questions or if anything needs further explanation. If you're writing an article or creating a video, consider including a comments section where readers or viewers can ask questions or provide feedback. By fostering a dialogue, you ensure that your audience has the opportunity to clarify their understanding and that you can address any gaps or misunderstandings. 7. Be patient and use repetition. Patience is key when explaining complex information. Recognize that it may take time for your audience to grasp certain concepts, and be prepared to repeat important points or rephrase your explanation if needed. Repetition can reinforce understanding and help solidify key information. For example, you might repeat a crucial point in different ways or provide multiple examples to illustrate the same concept. However, be mindful not to overdo it. Too much repetition can lead to frustration or boredom. Strive for a balance between reinforcing important points and maintaining your audience's engagement. 8. Adjust your explanation style. Different people have different learning styles, and adapting your explanation style to match your audience can improve comprehension. Some people prefer detailed, step-by-step explanations, while others might benefit from a high-level overview with key takeaways. Pay attention to the feedback and reactions of your audience and adjust your style accordingly. If you notice signs of confusion or disengagement, consider changing your approach. For example, if your audience seems overwhelmed by too much detail, try summarizing the main points and providing a broader overview. Adapting your style to meet your audience's needs helps ensure that your message is effectively communicated. 9. Practice empathy and active listening. Empathy and active listening are crucial for understanding your audience's perspective and addressing their needs. By putting yourself in their shoes and listening carefully to their questions or concerns, you can tailor your explanation to better meet their needs. Active listening involves paying full attention to what the other person is saying, asking clarifying questions, and providing thoughtful responses. Show empathy by acknowledging their challenges and offering support or additional information as needed. For example, if someone is struggling with a concept, you might say, "I understand this can be tricky. Let me explain it in a different way." Empathy and active listening create a more supportive and effective communication environment. 10. Reflect and learn from feedback. Finally, reflecting on your communication efforts and learning from feedback is essential for continuous improvement. After explaining something, take the time to review how it went. Consider what worked well and what could be improved. Solicit feedback from your audience to gain insights into their experience and identify areas for enhancement. For example, you might ask for feedback on whether the explanation was clear, if any points were confusing, or if there were any areas that could be expanded upon. Use this feedback to refine your approach and improve your ability to explain things clearly in the future. In conclusion, explaining things clearly and being understood is a vital skill that can significantly impact your personal and professional success. By knowing your audience, using clear language, organizing your information, incorporating analogies and visuals, encouraging interaction, being patient, adapting your style, practicing empathy, and reflecting on feedback, you can enhance your communication effectiveness. Remember, effective explanation is an ongoing process of learning and adaptation. With these strategies, you'll be better equipped to convey your ideas, engage your audience, and ensure that your message is received and understood. Don't forget to tell us what you think in the comment section and subscribe to our channel for more content. See you on the next topic.